الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذ ابتلى إبراهيم ربه بكلمات فأتمهن قال إني جاعلك للناس إماما قال ومن ذريتي قال لا ينال عهد الظالمين صدق الله العظيم. Ayat number 124 of Surat Al-Baqarah, particularly regarding the qissa and the story of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he managed to get to the temple before the priest got to the temple and ate food. We've already gone over the details of that part of the story. And when he went to the temple, Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he brought an axe and he broke down all the idols. When the people returned to their temple, they were surprised to find all their idols broken and smashed. And they started asking who could have done this. So some of them suggested that we know of a youth who keeps mentioning our idols, and even he made a vow to deal with our idols or to deal with these idols. So they brought Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam and they asked him that, have you done this? Have you broken these idols that we worship? Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he had left the biggest idol alone. And he even put the axe on the shoulder of the biggest idol. And in Surah Al-Anbiya, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the detailed discussion regarding this type of da'wah that Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam was giving to his qawm. They were not ready to listen to his da'wah by trying to understand how feeble and useless worshipping the celestial bodies is. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he posed to them a question that baffled their logic. He told them, بَلْ فَعَلَهُ كَبِيرُهُمْ هَذَا فَاسْأَلُوهُمْ إِنْ كَانُوا يَنْتِقُونَ. You're asking me if I've done this, but that big idol over there, he has done it, or at least it seems like he has done it. He's holding the axe. He's been caught red-handed. He still has the axe on him. فَاسْأَلُوهُمْ, go ask the big idol. إِنْ كَانُوا يَنْتِقُونَ, if you're able to make him speak, or you're able to get anything out of him. So the people, they were looking at one another, then now what do we do? فَرَجَعُوا إِلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ فَقَالُوا إِنَّكُمْ أَنْتُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. They were kind of surprised that, sometimes when such a logical explanation is given to you, a person gets baffled, and surprised what to do next. But they started looking at one another, then now we have been put on the spot. What can we do now? So Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he told them, أُفِّلْ لَكُمْ وَلِمَا تَعْبُدُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ. He said, I feel sorry for you. We say uff to you, which means I feel sorry for you people. And whatever you're worshipping other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, won't you have any common sense now? Won't you have any aql and logic now? After I've made it clear to you that these idols, they can't give you any benefit, they cannot cause you any harm, they can't listen to you, they can't see you, they can't do anything. So the people then devised a very unique way to punish Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. They looked at one another, they told one another, حَرِّقُوهُ وَانْصُرُوا آلِهَتَكُمْ إِن كُنْتُمْ فَاعِلِينَ. They now burn him, meaning burn Ibrahim alayhi salam. وَانْصُرُوا آلِهَتَكُمْ, and help your gods. If you're going to do anything, this is now has become, or this became kind of a good deed amongst the people. To at least fuel the fire in which Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam was to be burned. That time they used to consider fire to be of power. They made a very, very massive fire. And they had also tied up Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. They put him in prison. And after they made this very massive fire, now they had another problem. Even they couldn't get close enough to the fire to throw him in. This is how hot the fire was. So they looked at Ibrahim alayhi salam and they said, go. And he was looking at them like, really? Come on now. So Shaitan came to them, he gave them the idea of a slingshot. So they started building massive columns and kind of made a type of slingshot system. And those pillars and those columns are still there till today. If you go towards the northern part of Iraq or close towards Turkey area, there's a place in Turkey that they're claiming those are the pillars, but Allahu A'lam what the exact place is. But they made these pillars to slingshot Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam into the fire. When they were preparing Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam to throw him into the fire during this time, Jibreel alayhi salam came. When they were throwing Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam into the fire, Jibreel alayhi salam came to Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam and said, "O Ibrahim, if you want, I have brought with me the angel of water. It will bring about such a rainstorm, so much water will come down. By the time you reach the fire, there will be no fire. We'll put it out." Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, at that moment, if we try and put ourselves in that condition, we would definitely accept any help from anyone that we can. But Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he knew with conviction that when the malaika or the angels, they're ordered by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to do something, they never ask for permission. They just do it. You don't find the angel of death coming to people asking them for permission. With some righteous people maybe, but those righteous people are already ready to go. But they don't ask permission. When they're commanded to do something, they just do it. They don't ask. So Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he asked Jibreel alayhi salam, "Did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send you? Or are you here of your own accord? Did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send you to come and help me, or did you come from your own choice?" So Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he asked this question, he understood that Jibreel alayhi salam did not have the power to help anyone unless he had taken permission from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Jibreel alayhi salam told Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam that we asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, meaning we the angels, we asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for permission to come and help you. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that if you request our help, so then we are allowed to help you. We've been given that much permission, that if you request for our help, so then we will help you. And we did this because we really love you. Remember when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He loves someone. It's a very famous hadith. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells Jibreel alayhi salam, "Oh Jibreel, I love such and such a person. You also love this person, and make this announcement." So that announcement is then made to the malaika, to the angels, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He loves a particular person, you also love him. And that mahabbah and that love is then put in the hearts of the creation. And that announcement is spread throughout the universe. So even the creatures and the creations, they make dua for that person that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also put us in that category. So Jibreel alayhi salam, he told Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam that we love you. This is why we're here. We're ready to offer you any kind of help that we can. So at this time, Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he said very beautiful words that have been documented. In one riwayah, علمه بحالي يكفيني عن سؤالي, or عالمه بحالي يكفيني عن سؤالي. Jibreel alayhi salam, he was told that Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he told Jibreel alayhi salam that the knowledge of my condition, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He knows. Or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is well aware of my situation, my condition. Yakfini an su'ali, He doesn't even need me to ask. He knows I'm here, and if I'm happy when I'm radhi and pleased with the qada of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if for His sake He wants me to put my life down, so here I am, I put my life down for Him. And it'll be an honor to give my life for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So He doesn't need me to ask. As far as me being saved, so then hasbi Allahu wa ni'mal wakeel. Very, very powerful word. He said hasbi Allahu wa ni'mal wakeel, ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is more than sufficient for me. Is more than enough for me. I don't need your help or the help of anyone else. Ni'mal wakeel is that He's ni'mal wakeel, is that He's the best being to put your trust in. The one who's worthy of being trusted. Ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the best of protectors and the best of helpers. So Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he left behind for us a very, very beautiful example. Regardless of how difficult the situations may come or may become around you, never lose hope in the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a situation or a time where the whole qawm and the whole nation had come together to kill Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, or to try and burn him to death. And they were all unanimous on this. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He had other plans. And at this time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave a hukum or command to the very fire that he was being thrown in. Ya naru kuni bardan wa salaman ala Ibrahim. That, oh fire, you become cool and become peaceful for Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. It is mentioned regarding the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives a command, everything follows that command. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ya nar, O fire, it was not made particular which fire. Ya nar means all fire. Kuni bardan, you become cold. So all of the fires became cold at that moment. Salaman, and become peaceful. Ala Ibrahim, for Ibrahim alayhi salam. So it was made clear that this is talking about a particular fire, not all of the fires. So all the fire went back to becoming or carrying out their particular natural system, what they were created for. So only that fire that was for Ibrahim alayhi salam, it became cool and peaceful, but only for Ibrahim alayhi salam, for no one else or for nothing else. The very ropes that were used to tie his hands, even they were burned off. And Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, in that fire, he was given a very, very peaceful time, very comfortable time. This is also the effect of the words of the Anbiya alayhi salam. These words, they are also from wahi. They're also a revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a dua that has been given as a special gift to us believers as well. That in the face of extreme situations, when you want relief, so then make this dua. Hasbi Allahu wa ni'mal wakeel, ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. The time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, in one of the ghazawat, particularly the ghazwa of Uhud. In this ghazwa, in this battle, The believers, they did not necessarily win, but they did not exactly lose either. But they did face a lot of difficulty. Very extreme situation happened in that ghazwa. Many Sahaba were made shaheed, they were shuhada. Many were injured. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam himself was also injured in this battle. The kuffar, after this battle, they managed to flee and get away, and they started to regroup. When they were regrouping, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent a hukum and a command to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam that this is not the time to become comfortable. Gather your forces and follow the kuffar, otherwise they're going to come back and attack you again. And the hukum is that only those who fought in the battle, who may even be injured now, they're the only ones allowed to travel with you. No one else should join this army. The Sahaba, all of them unanimously, when they heard that they had to go, they were all ready. They all stood up, they were ready. And the munafiqeen, or the hypocrites, they were kind of surprised at why are we being excluded? We want to join also. But during this time, the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they were able to gather whatever they could from the mali ghanima, from the spoils of war. They're made halal and allowed for this ummah. So the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they gathered whatever they could and they got ready. Some of the munafiqeen came to the Sahaba, they were trying to discourage them. That, do you know, the people are ready to come and attack you. إِنَّ النَّاسَ قَدْ جَمَعُوا لَكُمْ فَخْشَوْهُمْ. They were telling them, oh, you know, the army, the kuffar, they're gathering their troops. They're coming to destroy you. When you go there, they're just going to eat you alive. فَخْشَوْهُمْ. They were trying to put fear and trying to make them afraid. But rather than becoming afraid, the Sahaba became even more bold that, okay, whatever happened, happened. This is our chance to take revenge, and we're given the permission to take revenge. فَزَادَهُمْ إِيمَانًا. Their iman became even more increased. وَقَالُوا حَسْبُنَا اللَّهُ وَنِعْمَ الْوَكِيلُ. And the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they started saying the words of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, that حَسْبُنَا اللَّهُ وَنِعْمَ الْوَكِيلُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is more than sufficient for us, more than enough for us. And He is that being that deserves, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only being that deserves, truly deserves to be trusted. During this time when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam gathered the Sahaba and they went on the route to follow the kuffar, they kept repeating these words of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. They got to a place known as Badr al-Sughra, and they got the information that the kuffar, they had ran away. Because the kuffar, they got news and information that the Sahaba are coming, and they're mad. And they're coming with revenge. And the kuffar also knew that in the face of Sahaba, they were not ready to stand. They already had example from the battle of Badr before. So they said, if the Sahaba are coming back, and they're coming to us, and that's a sign that they're even more strong. So they made a quick decision that, you know what, we kind of won the battle, and these, is a draw, and we don't need to have any more losses. Let's just go back to Makkah. We don't need to shed any more blood. They all the kuffar unanimously decided on this, and they left. So the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, there in Badr al-Sughra, there was a market, and they started buying and selling. And much of the mali ghanima, the spoils of war that they had gathered in the battlefield, they started buying and selling, and they made very good business there. That situation of fear, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala turned it into profit for the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. That is also mentioned in the ayat of the Quran in Surah Ali Imran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, فَانْقَلَبُوا بِنِعْمَةٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَفَضْلٍ لَمْ يَمْسَسْهُمْ سُوءٌ وَاتَّبَعُوا رِضْوَانَ اللَّهِ. That rather than having that situation of fear and war, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala changed the whole situation and condition into profit and benefit. And this happened because the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, their iman was increased, were strengthened, and they were also saying this dua of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. Amongst the atharat of the ayat of the Quran, we say Tafseer, the effects of the verses of the Quran, particularly the effects of particular ad'iyah. One of those ad'iyah, this one dua of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, it is extremely beneficial and useful in times of fear. And it can be applied to any situation in life, especially when we're very afraid, to a point where we almost become hopeless, and that is the time to start saying this dua of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. It is also mentioned in the ayat of the Quran in Surah Al-Imran. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he spent his time in the fire, very peaceful. And the people, they were looking at him. They could see him still alive. And they saw him very comfortable. They were watching that, we're trying to cause him harm, we're trying to kill him, and look at him, He seems more happy than us. They were just looking at one another, what is this? They were kind of surprised. And after the fire finished off, Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was fine. It extinguished, the fire extinguished. And Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he stood up, he was perfectly fine. So the people came to the father of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, that make Ibrahim understand, we're scared of him now. We tried to kill him and he won't die. But at least make him understand to stop making fun of our gods, making fun of the things that we're worshipping. Strange people, rather than believing, they went the other way. So Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was summoned by his father. In the ayat there in Surah Maryam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the discussion and da'wah that Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam gave to his father. He tried to make his father understand. His father was also making idols, not only worshipping idols, he was making the idols. His father's name is Azar, as mentioned in the ayat of the Quran. وَإِذْ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ لِأَبِيهِ آزَرَ أَتَتَّخِذُ أَصْنَامًا آلِهَةً. But Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he tried to make his father understand. His father was not ready to listen. The ayat there in Surah Maryam, in various ways, Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam gave da'wah to his father, at the end telling his father, Ya abati la ta'budu ash-shaytan, oh my father, don't worship shaitan. Inna ash-shaytana kana lir-rahmani asiyya. The shaitan is very, very disobedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ya abati inni akhafu an yamassaka adhabun min ar-rahman, fatakuna lish-shaytani waliya. Oh my father, I fear that a punishment will touch you from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from ar-Rahman. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish you if you're making shaitan your friend. And you're following these evil ways of shaitan. But his father, rather than accepting the da'wah, he became angry with Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. And he told Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam that لَإِن لَمْ تَنْتَهِ لَأَرْجُمَنَّكَ وَهْجُرْنِي مَلِيًّا. That Ibrahim, if you don't stop this, you're making fun of our gods and speaking so ill of our way of life. If you don't stop this, I will personally stone you to death. Very harsh words. And Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, even in that moment, he did not become angry at his father. He showed such a level of respect. He told his father, Salamun alayk, Sa'astaghfiru laka Rabbi, innahu kana bi hafiya. He told his father, Assalamu alaykum, that I give you salam. And I will ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive you, meaning to give you guidance. Definitely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very merciful. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam continued to do istighfar for his father. Remember one thing, if someone is alive, you're allowed to make dua of hidayah and guidance for that person. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Surah At-Tawbah that وَمَا كَانَ اسْتِغْفَارُ إِبْرَاهِيمَ لِأَبِيهِ إِلَّا عَنْ مَوْعِدَةٍ وَعَدَهَا إِيَّاهُ. First and foremost, a hukum is mentioned, that it is not, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it very clear. مَا كَانَ لِلنَّبِيِّ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَن يَسْتَغْفِرُوا لِلْمُشْرِكِينَ وَلَوْ كَانُوا أُولِي قُرْبَى مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُمْ أَنَّهُمْ أَصْحَابُ الْجَحِيمِ. That it is not befitting for the Nabi, meaning Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and it is not fitting or befitting for the believers that they should seek the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the mushrikeen, for those who do shirk, for the disbelievers. وَلَوْ كَانُوا أُولِي قُرْبَى, even if these disbelievers are their relatives. So when it becomes clear to them, when it becomes clear to the believers, or it becomes clear to the Nabi that their relatives have been or have become of the Ashabul Jahim, of the companions of the fire. And this only becomes clear to us when someone passes away. When someone dies, and they die on shirk, they die on kufr. So then you can say, okay, this person is from the people of Jahannam. Before that, the doors of Tawbah are open. Anyone can accept Iman. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the case of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. All of this is in Surah Tawbah. وَمَا كَانَ اسْتِغْفَارُ إِبْرَاهِيمَ لِأَبِيهِ إِلَّا عَنْ مَوْعِدَةٍ وَعَدَهَا إِيَّاهُ. And Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he did seek forgiveness for his father because of this promise that he made to his father. فَلَمَّا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُ أَنَّهُ عَدُوٌّ لِلَّهِ تَبَرَّأَ مِنْهُ. And it became clear to Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam that his father is an enemy of Allah. That his father, when passing away or passed away, and he was still a mushrik, an enemy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. تَبَرَّأَ مِنْهُ. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he gave up asking for his forgiveness. So long as somebody is alive, you can make dua for their hidayah. You can make dua for their guidance. Or you can choose not to. And once they pass away, so we also have the other example of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, very amazing example. The Anbiya alayhimus salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us their examples in the Quran, amazing examples. And you can choose which way. You can go the route of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, very beautiful route. You can also look at the example of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. When Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, he got fed up with Fir'aun, and he realized that, this Fir'aun, he's not going to give up. So then Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, he made a dua. And in siyaq and sibaq, in context of the verses in Surah Yunus, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave wahyu to Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَى مُوسَى وَأَخِيهِ أَن تَبَوَّآ لِقَوْمِكُمَا بِمِصْرَ بُيُوتًا وَاجْعَلُوا بُيُوتَكُمْ قِبْلَةً وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave wahyu to Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam that you build your homes together. Pray your salah in your homes, make a qibla there. And establish salah. وَبَشِّرِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Give bashar and glad tidings to the believers. So the believers had to keep and pray their salah at home. They had to stay at home and pray salah. At the time of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. And even Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, he was able to pray at home. So at home he only had his brother with him, Harun alayhi salam with him. And they used to pray jama'ah. And at that very special time, dua after salah is accepted. So that very special time, Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam made dua. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the dua of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. And his dua was, رَبَّنَا, O Allah, O my Rabb, إِنَّكَ آتَيْتَ فِرْعَوْنَ وَمَلَأَهُ زِينَةً وَأَمْوَالًا فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. That, O Allah, you have given to Fir'aun and his people the beauty and glamour and the power of this world. وَأَمْوَالًا, and the wealth of this world. رَبَّنَا لِيُضِلُّوا عَنْ سَبِيلِكَ. O Allah, they're misguiding and misleading people from your path with their wealth, with their power, with their influence. رَبَّنَا اطْمِسْ عَلَىٰ أَمْوَالِهِمْ وَاشْدُدْ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ فَلَا يُؤْمِنُوا حَتَّى يَرَوْا الْعَذَابَ الْأَلِيمَ. What a dua. Musa alayhi salam, Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, he said, Oh Allah, we make their hearts very hard and make them busy with their wealth so that they don't believe until they see the final adhab. What a dua. You can imagine how fed up Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam must have become. We say, we have a saying in English, somebody really bothers you, and it's not good to really say, but we say to hell with you. So Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, he made this kind of that to finish it. Whatever happens to Fir'aun, I don't want him to ever be saved. And it was not just Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. But because of this dua of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, at the last moments when Fir'aun saw the adhab, he tried to accept Iman, it was too late. But that was the dua of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. In the Quran, we're told to follow the millat of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. فَاتَّبِعُوا مِلَّةَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ حَنِيفًا. Follow the millat of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. Don't become so frustrated with someone that you just say, okay, finish. You incur the wrath and adhab of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should not be like this. We should have rahmah in our hearts. We should have kindness. That okay, maybe this person, he may not be understanding. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them some sense that at least they may be able to understand. So this was Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. He was making dua for his father, trying to make his father understand. But then when it became clear that his father did not accept Iman, so then he stopped doing istighfar for his father. So this was the second test, or the third test. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he had to face his own father. When his father was ready to expel him and throw him out of the house. And Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, even then, he did not compromise on his deen, he did not compromise on his principles. A very great example to us also. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us understanding and give all of us the tawfiq to practice his deen. We should not condemn anyone. We should not, just sharing this with you, we should be careful with them. We should ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for their hidayah. Yes, if they leave this world, who are we to judge? Yes, if they die on kufr, so we know that they're going to Jahannam, but who are we to judge? We don't know. We don't become judgmental either. But we should always have this rahmah in our hearts. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us understanding and give us the tawfiq to practice His deen. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغِ. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم نور قلوبنا بالقرآن وزين أخلاقنا بالقرآن ونجنا من النار بالقرآن وادخلنا في الجنة بالقرآن. اللهم اجعل القرآن لنا في الدنيا قرينا وفي القبر مونسا وعلى الصراط نورا وفي الجنة رفيقا ومن النار سترا وحجابا. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.